What's going on there, fellow YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists, and it's time for an episode of P&Q. This is the question and answer series where you get to ask me questions or put comments to me and I respond the following week. Now you do this one of two ways. You can either pop your comments or questions down below in the comments section, or you can email me directly at miniwarzone@gmail.com and I will leave a link to that in the video description below. And that's about it. If you email me, your identity will remain anonymous. I can't get many emails, but I've got two this week. For some reason this printed them last again, I don't know why. Maybe it's just I've shuffled it wrong, I don't know. I'll do them first. So one sheet of paper, and it's, I don't know, it's getting to me. I'm quite chuffed because I've just cleared a load of stuff off my bench, although you wouldn't think so to look at it, but it's like kind of a moment when, yeah, it feels like I'm getting stuff done. Anyway, on with the show. Emails. Okay, first one says, "Hi Pete, why is there a bicycle in your studio? Just wondered, do you cycle to get there?" It's there, and you can't see it because it's out of camera shot. No, I don't cycle to get here. But I have a bicycle in my studio. Yes, I actually went out on it yesterday. First time in about 2 years. It was good. I've been suffering all day today and I'm still suffering. But it was good. I had a good day. I cycled. I was like, yay. Trying to keep the knee moving as well. So it's all important. It was in my other garage, but I don't know, I kept it in here because I knew I wanted to cycle this year, and I just wanted it close to hand. Looking at it kind of guilts me into doing it then. And the last email says, "Hi dude, what's the worst model you've ever painted, and can we see it please? Do you feel that you have improved much as a painter in the last 12 months?" The worst model I've ever painted, without a shadow of a doubt, was a Reaper Bones model. I don't know what it was called. You probably know the one. He was kind of some dude holding a lantern. I don't know what he's called, but that's the worst model I've ever painted. No, you can't see it because I don't have it anymore. Sorry. Do I feel I've improved much as a painter in the last 12 months? Yes, absolutely. I've improved. I continue to improve. I'm not saying I'm a great painter, but I'm saying I am getting better. You know, as I try out the new techniques that I learn from other good selves. So that's the emails out the way. On with the questions or the comments that were left from last week's video. Starting with Idic Beer. He says, "Great answers, Pete. What's the longest time you have spent in the studio without coming out?" And then in brackets, excluding going to the toilet. That's a tough question. As I speak, my wife is currently hosting I don't know, forget what it's called, temple spa party for her friends, and they're all around doing face packs and scented oils and this, that and the other. So I'm well out of it here. But the longest time I've ever spent, probably about 12 hours. Yeah, I would say. I spent all evening in here before, you know, maybe longer than that even, you know, it has been. I suppose on average, I spend about 8 hours out here. But that's not every day, you know. Some days I just have a couple of hours. But there you go. I hope that answers your question. Victor Quez says, "Nice P&Q Pete. Do you create fluff for your armies? When painting, do you prefer to follow official colour scheme or create your own colour scheme in case of fiction or fantasy miniatures?" I don't create fluff for my armies really, but I want to. I'm going to start doing that, like now, sort of thing. Because I don't know. I think it's important to have a bit of fluff behind your army, and it fleshes them out a bit. I get so caught up in other things, but yeah, it's definitely something I want to do. Someday I'd like to create my own Space Marine chapter. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Don't feel at that standard yet, but yeah, maybe one day. Crew Orange Lasilicus. Hey Mike, he says, nice P&Q. What has been the most challenging project or paint job to date? What? Well, most challenging paint job or project or paint job to date. I would say it's my veteran Dark Angel squad, because they're still on the go. Why? Because I decided to paint them separately, rather than assemble them and then paint them, and I'm finding the process of painting them separately hideously slow, and it makes me feel, I don't really want to do it, I don't find that enjoyable, don't like that. I prefer to put them together, and I find, it's a challenge sometimes, yeah, sure, getting in all the nooks and crannies, but I enjoy that, and I don't enjoy little bits that I'm trying to paint up and then glue, and no, I don't like that. I find like one miniature can occupy like 5 or 6 lid tops, and nah, don't like that. So my veteran Dark Angel squad for sure. Alright, so more coffee. I like this stuff. It's I made it a while ago, and then I was tidying up, and so it's a bit cool. Excuse me, a bit cold now. But I'll just finish it up. Heresy Productions, or just Palmer, says, hi Pete, do you still have any other hobbies you keep up with besides wargaming? That was badly interspaced with the gap there, wasn't it? Hi Pete, do you still have any other hobbies you keep up with besides wargaming? Yes, I've got music and gardening. I like both of those. I suppose gardening is more for this time of year now, so I'm starting to spend more time in the garden. I'm looking forward to planting some flowers, getting a bit of colour in the garden, trying to encourage some bees to come in, because it's important, because our government seem hell-bent on destroying the bee population, which would be disastrous for mankind. Just would. But yeah, music and gardening. Okay. Jam Jar 34. He says, great P&Q. What are you planning for me hobbies wise? And are you going to do a Warboss Taste painting challenge? Plus, are we going to see Mrs. Mini Warzone when you do your 100th episode? Well, what have I got planned? Well, I'll do them in a weird, disjointed order. Am I doing a Warboss Taste painting challenge? No, I'm not. I'm kind of having a break from painting challenges at the moment. Not that I'm not painting, but I feel a bit under pressure when I'm doing those, and pressure to deliver. And I'm just enjoying relaxing at the moment. Are we going to see Mrs. Mini Warzone on the 100th episode? Possibly. Never say never. She's a busy woman, but she might do. You never know. And what have I got planned for May, hobbies wise? Well, dun, 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 I'm making a diorama. You heard me. I'm making a diorama, a zombie hunter diorama, and I bought some zombie hunter figures and zombies that I've put together, and like a motorcycle. I'm doing it in 1/35 scale. I was inspired by I can't remember now. Someone I saw on YouTube, they did a similar thing, and I thought, yeah, I'd like to have a go at that. So I'm having a go at that. Jinx Panduit, he says, being a Guild Ball player, it's awesome. In brackets. And this is because I don't know. Must have talked about Guild Ball on last week's show. So, being a Guild Ball player, in brackets, it's awesome. You can download the rules and paper models. There is plenty of channels that cover the game from starting to advanced gameplay. Question, if you couldn't wargame ever again, what would you pick up and why? Well, let's take the Guild Ball stuff first. You download the rules and paper models. They don't tell you that at Salute, do they? They don't tell you that at the stalls. But then again, I wouldn't want to play with paper models anyway. That's just the type of person I am. I like playing with fully assembled, painted, proper models. That's just me. But the rules stuff, that's pretty cool. So I will be looking to do that, download the rules. Yeah, I mean, you can download paper models just to learn to play the game, I suppose. There are plenty of channels that cover the game from starting to advanced gameplay. Yes, that's true, but that's not what I'm after. I'm after a channel where I share the experience of someone that could just as easily be myself, starting out in a game. Doesn't have to be Guild or anything, and learn with them, and I become more invested in them and the game and whether I like it or don't like it, and it's just better. I prefer it. It's yeah. If I couldn't wargame ever again, what would I pick up and why? Well, that would depend on why I wasn't wargaming. So if you couldn't wargame ever again, there'd have to be a good reason, like I lost my eyesight or something, or mobility, which is always a possibility with my condition. What would I pick up and why? I don't know. It would depend on the condition I'm in, health-wise. If I could, I would still try and do music. I'd still try and do gardening. If I was able to see, and there was some other reason I couldn't wargame, I don't know, just get into reading, maybe writing, something like that. Because writing is how I got started in the hobby, writing a book. But yeah, it would totally depend on why. Okay, E-Tron says, great stuff as always. Would you be up for going on one of my live stream episodes? And yes, I will do the Guild Ball rules things you need to play, and my first game on my channel, plus the Guild Ball table build. P.S. Thanks for the little nudge on what you think would be cool to see for the Guild Ball. Well, that's no problem at all. Would I be going on a live stream episode? Yeah, sure. It depends on when, how I'm feeling, you know, that kind of thing. Time of day, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I'm always up for that sort of stuff. And yeah, as I've just said, I'd like to see someone like yourself just picking up the game, going through the rules, you know, together. If you're learning, I'm learning. I'm going to do a similar thing with Beyond the Gates of Antares, and yeah, I just think it'd be cool, super cool. And like I said, I'd become invested more in you, in the Guild Ball side, the whole bit. That would be cool. A couple of responses, not for me. Tattoo for you. Oh, this is the last question. Yes. He says, I agree on no end times. He's saying, how would I think? The question was, how do I want to see the story progress, or do I want to see the story progress of 40k? I agree on no end times. I'm just leaning towards adding to the story a bit. I always thought the Emperor's death. He actually is reborn as a 5th Chaos God, but not seen as one, just a thought. Tough question, I know. Which Primarchs would you like to see resurface in the 40k universe? Perfect meal. Well, let's do that. Perfect meal. No, I'll do it on Master. Which Primarchs would I like to see a resurface? Gilliman, I suppose. Is it Robert? How do you? I don't know how you pronounce his name. Robert Gilliman. Because at the moment, as far as I recall, he's currently like mortally wounded, but he's like kind of on some sort of life support thing somewhere, isn't he? I forget who it was did that to him. I don't know if it was Fulgrim or I don't know. But I know he had a fight with some other Primarch and they sort of messed him up. And yeah, he's trying to heal. So it'd be nice to see him resurface again. It would be good to see Lehman Russ come back from the Eye of Terror. I'm not sure what implications that would have, but I'm sure that'd be pretty cool. And I don't know about not resurfacing as such, but surfacing. I'd like to see the unknown Primarchs of the 2nd and 11 Legions. I'd like to see them come into the story and reveal why they were, I don't know, shamed into non-existence, as it were. It is interesting how there's the 2nd and 11th Primarch and their legions. You add the two together, you get 13, which is Ultramarines, and they're the ones whose legions who swell, their ranks grew in number as they disregarded the unknown Primarchs. I find that very interesting. I think they could do something with that. Yeah, kill the Emperor. I don't know what effect that would have on the universe, but hey, you know. Yeah. but Guilliman, Numerus, and the unknown Primarchs, I'd like to see them come into it, or come back. That kind of thing. And that's it. Ta-da! See you guys on the next one. I love you as always. Well, yeah, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now. Bye-bye.